FM, simply the best.
I am a mountain, I am a tall tree, oh, I am
I know, yes, 7 minutes gone past 7 right here on Star 103.5 FM. Well, it is said that the distance between your dreams and reality is called action. And I just love that. So ask yourself, what are you doing today? The distance between your dreams and reality is called action. So go out there and take action. Be the boss. Because I've learned one thing from 6 a.m. success, that being a boss isn't a job, it's a lifestyle. So you go out there and be the best wherever you are. And the man that we're actually celebrating this evening, yes, is an award-winning gentleman. Right here on your award-winning show as well. We're going to put a spotlight on journalism this evening. And of course, on a man who reports the news. Tonight, we delve into the dynamics of the media profession. A lot will be said tonight. And I'm looking forward to it. So good evening and you most welcome. My name is Bola Ray and this is StarrChat. Like I said, this evening, pleasure is mine to be hosting a man who spent about 19 years of his life reporting the news. A guy you've seen on TV and heard on radio. Many years. He's contributed to shaping the contemporary journalism in our country. An award-winning broadcaster who actually started his career at TV3 after a number of rejections. Well, we'll get into that and some more tonight. and I know he will not budge to rejection. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're honored to host, I call him my brother, a friend, if you want, a man I've known for many years. When I was actually in Form 3, he came to Lower 6 in the school. The only academy in Ghana. So tonight I'll attempt to interview my senior, Israel Laryea, with the multimedia group. Close associates call him Bobby. I don't know what that means, but tonight I'll try and ask. Can you tell us what that means and how he got that name? Bobby, or is it Bobby, or anyway? Welcome, Israel Laryea.
Thank you very much.
How are you doing?
Good. Bola Ray.
Live. Yes, our paths.
Yeah.
Really crossed again, and glad to have you sitting across. It's just like, you know, back in the day when you used to read the news and you come in around 4 p.m. to read the news, and I'll be hosting the drive.
Exactly.
Good to reconnect.
Yes.
Once again.
Happy to see you, Bola.
Great, and I know this voice. Happy to see you, Bola. Israel Laryea with the multimedia group is our guest right here on StarrChat. And you know what? It's a wonderful evening, and getting to talk to you for the next 1.5 hours. I know it's going to be
actually 90 minutes.
Yes, it's a 90 minutes interview, so it's all yours, and we'll get to know you well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when we posted it on Facebook and everyone on social media, people really want to know who Israel Laryea is, where you've been. People, you know, thought that everything was handed to you, you know, on a silver platter. But tonight we get to hear the story, Israel Laryea. So once again, you're most welcome.
Thank you very much, Bola.
All right, and this is StarrChat. We're live in Kumasi on Ultimate FM. Also in Tac Radio on Empire 102.7 FM. We're live in Ho on Cool FM 103.5 and live around the world on StarFMOnline.com. We're also streaming live on Facebook, Star 1035. So, yes, we're here, and I know you're doing well. You're keeping well?
Oh, yeah, I should say so. God has been good.
God has been good.
Yeah.
You're growing some more. You're 41 now, Israel.
44.
44?
Yeah,
Wow.
I actually turned 44 on 7th October. So.
7th October?
Yeah, just this month.
Charlie Bomondai.
Well, I didn't.
We'll catch up. But of course, good to know that you're doing well, you know, hale and hearty. But before we even get into what do you make of the lifetime ban handed over to Kwesi Nyantakyi by FIFA? I mean, it's in the news, it's what is trending now. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that?
So my thoughts are that, and they're similar to what I've heard others express. They feel that Kwesi Nyantakyi should have bowed out when the applaud was loudest. He stayed on a bit too long, and it's unfortunate that it has come to this.
The ban, harsh or deserving?
I think that's what it is. He says he wants to appeal. If he appeals and he gets a lighter sentence, that's fine. But I think that's what it is. I mean, unless there's anything else he's going to, you know, bring up to show that probably he didn't do the things that he said to have done. And in this case, it's not so much of criminal prosecution as people are alluding to here in Ghana, that, you know, why is government delaying with the prosecution of his case? Because in the case of FIFA, it has to do with ethics. So they have their own rules and regulations, and then you flouter them, and they feel that, hey, we should hand you this ban. So
so people who are calling for his prosecution here in Ghana, I've heard people, you know, asking the Attorney General to pick up, you know, the docket or the case and do something about it. You feel that it's misplaced?
No, the Attorney General actually has. So they've been speaking about it, and they're saying that, well, they're looking into the case. It's not as if they've abandoned the case. I just heard
the deputy
Pemka on Newsnight, you know, about an hour ago, talking about it, saying that it's not as if that government has abandoned it and that they're keeping at it. Whatever they find, or if they think they have enough evidence to nail him, yeah, it's if he's prosecuted in court and whatever the outcome is, that's what it is.
Isn't this enough? I mean, people are saying that why should we even push for some more? I've read also somewhere this afternoon, you know, there are went on air, or I think he wrote somewhere that he's not going to jubilate over there.
Essentially, he's not going to
essentially, exactly. So clearly, shouldn't that be what it is, and shouldn't we just let it go, other than pushing for it? And people that say, well, he should be prosecuted and he should, be handed over. I don't know.
No, the law has to take its course.
Isn't this enough?
No, I think it would actually inure to his interest if this case goes to court and whatever the outcome is.
Yes, he wants to appeal and he wants to clear his name.
Yeah, that's
after all, he resigned anyway.
That's with FIFA. But with the case, with the state taking up the matter, I think it's in its own interest that this case is pursued. If the courts decide that, or the states, the courts prove that, well, we don't have anything against him and he's let off the hook, it will be in his own interest. Otherwise, he's going to have this hanging over him for a really, really, really long time.
You think it's bad for Ghana? Or maybe this is just for, or about one person. So should it be? Because people have also said that, well, his ban has robbed Ghana of a potential candidate for the CAF presidency.
It's true. It's true that.
Okay.
I mean, his ban has robbed, the fact, all that happened has actually robbed Ghana of an opportunity to have somebody like him becoming CAF. I mean, he was the closest to it, But all I'm saying that what has happened has happened.
Right.
And if he's able to push his case, appeal the case, and FIFA says, well, we've looked into the case, based on your appeal, and we feel that we probably give you a harsh sentence, or a sentence too harsh, and so we should review it, so be it. But I think that FIFA has done what it thinks should be done.
Should be done. Well, interesting. And in all of this, let's also talk about journalism and the current state of journalism in Ghana. Has the practice gotten better over the years?
It has gotten better in some respects, and standards are falling too in other respects. If you look at journalism as we practice it now, we're doing a whole lot more, and maybe let me put it this way: we're doing a whole lot more with a whole lot less. So you're having journalists who
break that one down for us,
right? So you need a whole lot of resources to get to pursue journalism. If we say that we want to pursue journalism according to international standards, you take a documentary, and several times CNN has come into town and they want to do features,
right?
And the amount of money they spend on a feature, and they pay attention to detail, and they take time to do the kind of work they do.
We don't do that here in Ghana.
What we do is we throw pittance at documentaries. Well, it's not the case that the money is there and we don't want to spend it, but if you look at the economy in general, the size of the economy and how many people are advertising, and the media thrives on advertising. So if it's not working, if we're not having as many people, companies, advertisers seeking to advertise, there's not going to be that much money to go around.
Then, Israel, by this, then we are shortchanging our people. We're not really giving them the news or the true picture because of we not being adequately funded or resourced.
We try as much as possible to give them an accurate picture, but we could go a lot further. We could go a lot further when it comes to follow-ups.
Okay.
A lot of the time, stories are done and it's dropped. So the news cycle just keeps evolving so quickly. So you have something happening, and in the the following day, that news is dropped and something else happens, and everybody else forgets about it. After a week, nobody wants to talk about the issue at all. But it's important that we constantly and consistently go back to some of the stories that we do, and that's how we can get results. It has gotten to the point where the stakeholders feel that, well, these journalists or the media, they're going to get tired running after one story. So don't give them some time and say, give them about a week, they're going to drop this story.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say, and that's what happens actually. So this tends to happen quite a lot. Yes, once in a while, then you have some story that's supposed to have been dead, resurrected again.
Okay.
But typically, the story after a few days, a week, just goes off the radar.
Then really it's a thankless job. If you spend time and go and investigate, research, dig deep and bring out a story, and after, people will not follow up, or you will think that, well, after this, maybe a week or two, just leave it, it will go away. Then what's the motivation then,
See,
Israel?
the motivation is that we keep on doing this job, that because we believe that despite all the challenges that we're facing, we tend to yield some results. So some good things are coming out of it.
Are we shaping the discourse? Are we shaping national development from where you sit? Is that a picture, or politicians will just brush us aside? I mean, the executive, the judiciary. Well,
we're doing our bit, though. It gets to a point where the politicians or governments have to take up the rest of the matter. Look,
are they recognizing our efforts?
Not well enough. Not well enough. If you take some of the stories that my colleagues at Multimedia have done, you take Manasseh Azria-Wuni, how far they go with investigative pieces. They take time to do these investigative pieces. Elsewhere, immediately a journalist reports a story, the appropriate authorities are going to take up the story and deal with it. If it has to do with corruption,
right,
the appropriate authorities are going to take it up and run with it, prosecutions and all. Here in Ghana, if you do a piece like that, you actually have to go beyond doing the story and even have to attempt to get the case prosecuted. There are even instances where the case, government will take up the matter, a committee will be formed, and they would investigate the matter, and next thing you know, the whole thing just falls apart.
Okay.
So it makes it a thankless job. But we're still doing work that is recognized by people.
Right.
There are people who are listening to us right now who are saying that, yes, despite the fact that, yes, journalists do the job and the story is thrashed or it's abandoned at some point in time, or the people who are supposed to take up the matter don't, we at least recognize the fact that they are doing some good work. And our job is not so much all about exposing corruption. Yes, we try and expose corruption, but we also highlight day-to-day issues.
Like what? Because we're not talking about social development. You're saying that be out there. Journalists should also talk about the bad roads, lack of ambulances. Don't just do the story and drop it. Chase it up. Go out there. Is the GGA also helping with regards to leadership in this light?
We do as much as we can. We did countless times. We're talking about bridges on the Legon to Adenta.
Yes, exactly. The
that have been
bridges.
abandoned. And we keep talking about it. We talk about Abekala Pass. We keep talking. We're talking.
You
about
get frustrated when you harp on it and nothing is being done.
It's a bit frustrating, but we can't abandon our roles. We have to keep at it, because if we say that we're frustrated and so we're abandoning our roles, we may as well just check out of this country. We don't have any other country. And so we'll continue doing it, hoping that whatever results that we get, we're going to be grateful for small mercies. But we can't abandon our roles.
Well, of course, I was even talking about the stories that after some time we just abandoned them. But in light of that, I also want to know, are practitioners of the profession living up to the standards in your view? I mean, and this is a general question. When you look around, because people have had the cause to complain about journalism of today, and people are saying that standards are falling.
Well, standards are falling, and I started off by saying that yes, in some respects standards are falling, but in other respects we're doing a whole lot more. Okay, especially with what we have available. All right.
What do you make of bloggers?
Bloggers. They are doing their bit, but I don't think they see themselves as journalists, and so they don't apply the same kind of rigor that journalists.
But for the people out there, they will lump everyone into the same box and judge you and say, well, these stories come up and you don't know the difference between a blogger and a journalist. Yes, there's some great bloggers out there, but we all know.
You don't even have to go as far as bloggers. There are journalists who are doing substandard job. So it's not just about the bloggers. They say Fibia Mensa,
yeah.
But I also think that it's a reflection, whatever we're getting, right?
Of society?
whatever we're getting right now as in standards falling as far as journalism is concerned, it's not just restricted to journalism. It's across all sectors of endeavor. Yes.
Interesting.
It's across all sectors of endeavor. Take any profession at all.
Medicine.
Yes.
They're quack doctors.
No, not quack. Quack means that you're not qualified to do it.
Yeah, but of course they infiltrate and they get in there.
Yeah, but there are doctors who have actually gone through the mill. Except, they don't quite measure up.
You don't cut it.
Yeah, they don't quite measure
The
up.
law profession?
Same thing. I'm sure you probably may have come across some lawyers like that.
Wow.
Okay? So it cuts across all professions. And I actually think that it's a general decline in standards in education that's contributing to that. And I've always held the view that if you have, and it's also about the way we see the teaching profession. If you have a teaching profession that's not that well regarded, so people think that if I'm a dropout, if I don't get the chance to go to the university, then I should go to teacher training. And it happened during our time. Then people end up at teacher training because they feel or they couldn't make the grade to university. But teaching shouldn't be about that.
So they feel inferior?
I won't say they feel inferior. They are seen just the same way. We also see people involved in technical education and think that they don't quite measure up. It's the same. It's not just they feeling inferior. It's society making them seem that way. You know, and because we hail those who go to the universities and go and do administration and all those other fanciful degree courses, then we think that then those who ended up in the teacher training college and technical schools, then they don't quite measure up. But then back to the point I was making, if you have people going to teacher training because they couldn't make the grade to university. I'm not saying that all the people who end up in teacher training went there because they couldn't make the grade. There are people who decide that I want to be a teacher, and so they pursue that path. So then they go in there. When they are done, they end up going to teach our children in school. But if the quality of the people who went to teacher training college, most of the people who went to teacher training college end up in our schools and they don't quite measure up. Or if, for instance, somebody has failed in math and for some reason ended up in teacher training, if they're poor in math and they go into the classroom, they become a teacher eventually, they're going to be half-baked teachers. They go into the classroom and they teach your children. They teach your children. If a half-baked person teaches your child, then your child is going to end up.
But so that's where monitoring and evaluation comes in. I mean, if the GES is doing its job well, you fish out such a teacher.
If you want to fish out, you probably may end up fishing out everybody.
Really? That means the standards are really
falling. They stand, but except.
And you're saying that it cuts across.
It cuts across. So it's not as if I'm picking on the teachers.
On teachers, yeah.
The person who's actually going to monitor you at the circuit level,
right?
Themselves
have issues.
Issues.
Interesting. Let's stick with journalism, and this time let's talk about the umbrella body. Let's talk about GJA. Do you think that the GJA leadership has been efficient and effective over the years? Your candid opinion.
We used to have some really vibrant, GJA presidents.
Back then? Like who? You want to share some names?
Karabali,
Gifty Afeni-Dazi.
Those are the names that readily come to mind, right?
Afemoni is there. Afemoni is there.
Well, yeah, he's trying. He's trying.
Is he half big?
I won't say that. No,
okay. No, the way you're saying he's trying.
No. But I feel.
You mentioned Cabral. You mentioned Gifty. When I mentioned Afemoni, you're a bit hesitant.
I haven't been won over.
Oh, by his leadership, right?
By his leadership. I haven't been.
What are you expecting from him?
expecting. I've had a few disappointments with him.
Like,
There have been some instances having to do with the work done by Manasseh Azariah-Wuni and the pronouncements that have come up about him, come up after that. There was also that incident that happened at the 37 military hospital involving one journalist, and the pronouncements that came out after that. It doesn't appear as if the leadership is keen on supporting journalists. You probably don't even have to, follow or support the journalists whether they're wrong or right. But the pronouncements.
but on abuse, he's come out to actually, state an opinion and condemn acts of, brutality against journalists.
So I haven't said that. I haven't written him off entirely.
Okay.
But I'm saying that I've had disappointment.
He's not impressed you or won you over thus far.
Yeah.
Wow. Some people have also said that the GG Awards appear to have lost some kind of shine and steam compared to the past. Do you agree? The awards.
I agree. I agree.
You agree?
I thought it was a lot more prestigious in the past.
So what has changed or what has gone wrong?
I'll still bring it down
to leadership.
No leadership.
Standards.
A decline in standards.
Wow.
Across the board, yeah.
Why back then, you've been around for quite some time now. Back then it was more prestigious?
Oh yeah, it was more prestigious, a lot more prestigious.
How?
A lot more prestigious. Because the kind of people who emerged as journalists of the year were people that you look at them and then without a doubt, they have a track record. They've done work, extensive work, and then so that when they are pronounced, journalist of the year, there's usually no question about them.
Right? People are not questioning Bernard Able's, winning of journalist of the year. Well deserving or not?
Well deserving.
Okay.
In the case of Bernard Able, I'll say he's well deserving. I was actually surprised that this is the first time he's actually winning anything like that. He probably should have.
He's been around for some time.
Yeah, he probably should have won it some time back.
Maybe 3-4 years back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something like that, but
long in coming.
Yeah, it's been long in coming. He does some good work. He's one of the good stars we have around.
So he deserves it.
Oh, he deserves
with Bernard
it.
Able. So who are those that you have issues with? Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
No, you're saying that you've not been impressed, but for Bernard of City FM, you're okay. So who?
I'll name.
Yeah.
I'll name names. Whatever you do, and then I'll go back to Kwame Sefakai to say Kwame Sefakai also deserves it.
Okay.
Not for work he's done in the past year. Okay. So for Bernard Able again, not for
the year under review or not?
Not so much about the year under review.
Oh, okay. So what done over the track record? Okay.
He has a track record, and I was saying that he probably should have recognized some time back. I take Kwame Sefakai to yes, he has a track record because the kind of work he does on his show.
But not the year under review.
Not so much the year under review. If we're actually going by the year under review, I probably would say somebody else should have won it.
This year or Kwame Sefakai's time?
This year.
Somebody else should have won it.
This year, I'll probably say. I take the work that Kwame Boate did with the Kompanoche teaching of mother and baby unit. He did extensive work. It wasn't his sole effort. He had a whole team backing him. But that was great work. The year, considering the year
under review,
yeah,
it should have been set Kwame Boate.
I believe so.
How do you think our journalism compares to the global stage? Is there any striking difference between what the BBC does, CNN, and us here in Ghana? How do you see it?
We here in Ghana, a lot of what we do is what I call fast food.
Fast food journalism.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You go to work in the morning, you're supposed to produce a story by midday. Okay, but that's not the way the news actually works. You're supposed to do a thorough job on the story. We're supposed to keep people staying with one particular theme, so that if we say energy, oil and gas issues, there's this particular person who's handling it. So that person brings a wealth of experience, often about 10 years minimum. He's seen several governments, he's seen several ministers of health. When he speaks to an issue, when he's writing a story, he brings so much to it.
I remember back there we used to have the Lloyd Evans. I think there was one man with a graphic like that. We had a great background. So you're right, but it boils down to resources. You talked about experience. And for me, training.
And you see, you can give the people all the training that you want, but if the people don't find the profession attractive, and it turns out that a lot of people don't think that journalism pays that well.
So it's about the attitude as well, Israel. If people, because like you said, people will see it as a stepping stone to get
they
someone.
must have a passion for it, so that whatever, come what may, they're staying with the profession.
I love that.
So that, you're not going to make that much money, but you find other means of surviving. Like myself,
I like
other
that.
means of surviving.
So you have multiple streams of income. It's not just what you get.
It is important.
By doing what?
Some MC job.
MC job on the side.
Yeah, some voice
PR,
over.
so voice over.
Yeah,
Okay. So not just what you get from your employer or main employer, but things on the
it can't sustain.
But because you have the passion.
Because you have the passion, you keep at it.
It's interesting that you brought this up, because just 2 weeks ago I was having a discussion with a very young, gentleman, and he was saying, well, I want to get into the media 3 years because I want to, build my profile, make a name for myself, and then I become a PR of a government agency. So I was like, oh wow. So this is the thinking. It's not about the passion. It's a plan.
Yeah.
He wants to be out there on TV, let people see him, be on radio, get recognized, and then go out somewhere. And that is what he sees as a career, but not journalism. And I found that to be interesting.
Yeah. So people come in 2-3 years.
There's a motive.
Yeah, they come in 2-3 years and they're like, okay, so there's a PR job that's opening, and then they just jump at it and they go. It's not really their fault. Like I'm saying, journalism
doesn't pay. It came up, during the vetting of the Minister for Information designate, Kojo Oponinkom. And we'll come to that. Do you watch his vetting?
No, I didn't. But
okay. He's a former colleague of ours. I mean, Kojo, going through the Nana, So you didn't watch his vetting?
I didn't watch the vetting, but I heard snippets of.
Okay, so you actually got a highlight of the vetting and all of that. So what was your highlight?
He talked about, incidentally, we had a conversation some weeks back, and he told me that he would be making some pronouncements. In fact, this was something he actually said at the GJA Awards,
right?
Which had to do with the fact that he thought that journalism should be paid a lot better, And yes, yes, they should be paid a lot better. But as I said, if you look at the industry, if you look at the people who are supposed to advertise, the companies that are supposed to advertise to make the media houses earn enough money to want to pay their journalists better, we don't have that many around.
Those with the muscle to advertise. Many will say, well, we are multinationals, we don't really advertise. People know us already, what we do, we don't, and really it's hurting us. But like you mentioned, out there with the foreign media, certain big companies, yes, they won't advertise, but they will sponsor documentaries.
And it's also because of their markets.
Correct.
So if you take the US, for instance, you take CNN. CNN is broadcasting to the whole of the world. Okay, so if people want to advertise on CNN, they're prepared to pay millions for it.
Because I see Rolex sponsoring, lounges, sponsoring, golf or, surfing on CNN. And yes, they won't advertise that go and buy a Rolex watch, but they'll tell you, well, it's in association with Rolex. And that's it. That alone.
If you take the people who do the shows, the African Perspective,
that's right.
You take the shows that CNN does on Africa.
Right, the Africa Report. I mean, Marketplace
Africa. And all of that.
You have Glow on there, you have UBA,
and they put some
Zenith, big money
behind it.
So why is it that they're not doing that here in Ghana? What is the issue?
Our markets are small. I mean, the kind of audience that we have.
So they look for audience share.
Of course, they're looking. I mean, the more you have to offer, the more you can demand from them. And if probably we're sending our broadcast was reaching a lot more people. Maybe if we're reaching across West Africa, and there are companies that are interested in reaching across West Africa, then yes, they're going to put their money.
That's when the Dangotes will come in, huh?
The Dangotes will come in.
Do you think that Ghana requires laws to deal with fake news? Is fake news such a big deal in Ghana?
It's a big deal. I don't see how governments are going to regulate that because of the proliferation of social media. WhatsApp. I mean, people just forward just virtually anything at all they get. If there was a way, and you know how it's virtually impossible to regulate WhatsApp because the communication is end-to-end encrypted, and so it becomes really difficult. But if there was a way to fish out some of the people who spread some of these, I mean, you get some.
The forwarded messages are just.
Get some forwarded message, and they say something has happened somewhere. You know, lock your door. This, that, and they just spread it, and people just get them, and they just spread them around without really seeking to find out whether this is authentic or not. They just feel that they should just spread it around, and it's unfortunate.
You think it's about time that maybe
our data.
You're very much concerned about that, huh? Clearly. Okay, well, so it's right here on Star FM. Israel Laryea is our guest. He's with a multimedia group and is taking his stand on StarrChat. My name is Bola Ray, and it's getting interesting. Lots of messages for you, Israel, but we'll get into it some more. But let's talk about your take or your view when it comes to a journalist going out there to grab a party card while still practicing on the job. As suggested by Information Minister Designate, Kojo Upon mentioned that. He says, well, he sees no. Is it a big deal? Should it be or not?
It's a big deal. It shouldn't happen.
It shouldn't happen?
Yeah, it shouldn't happen.
If you are a practicing journalist or still on the job, you shouldn't have a party card.
It shouldn't happen.
You disagree with your Information Minister Designate?
Yeah, I mean, clearly it will compromise you. He says that he wasn't compromised. And truth be told, if you look back at him when he was on air, there was no way you could tell that he had been.
He was a professional.
He was a professional.
Thoroughbred.
Yeah,
I mean,
never
did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, there wasn't any instance.
No bias.
Even whilst he was on air, there were people who thought that he was
NBC. Yeah.
There were others who thought he was NPP, and that tends to, it's one of the things that we get worrying us a lot. People call us all sorts of names. They say, oh, you belong to this camp, you belong to that camp. But I feel that the more they say that about you, the more independent you actually are.
Do you have a party card?
No, I don't.
You don't? But you vote?
Yeah, I do vote.
Did you vote for the NDC or NPP?
I did vote for one of the parties.
All right, so moving on to the messages on our message board, and yes, you can join us on Facebook, and also our WhatsApp line is 0268 900 980. That's 0268 900 980. Keep the messages coming in, and this one is from Douglas in Winneba.
Okay.
And he says, marvelous interview, Bola Ray. In fact, I had to leave the lecture room to listen to you because I saw the post on Facebook. Please ask him what his biggest fear in life is and what keeps him moving on. Okay, well, we'll get into that. Bola, good evening to Israel and to your good self. Great personality you have. I think he was born to be a journalist. He's just sleek, he's suave, he knows what to do. He's my all-time best journalist.
Thank
and that's from Sheikh Nuhu. Listen to us in Kumasi.
Thank you, Sheikh.
All right, so Israel, in all of this, have you ever met the CEO of Men's Gold Ghana?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't? How did your story about the company's office in the UK come back? Tell us the story. What informed that?
So, I've told the story already, but I'm going to repeat it. So, I went to Oxford University for a course on oil and gas. And it was a 1-week course. And after, when I finished with the course, I had a few days in London. I wanted to see my sister in London. But each time we find ourselves in any country, you have to travel, you're having to travel, you're looking out for a story that you can do,
Interest.
so that you can bring that story back. Because yes, you're working.
So you didn't go to the UK specifically for men's code,
No.
as some people claim.
No.
Okay.
Not at all. So when I was done with the course, I was back in London, and I called up a contact in the UK who typically helps us to get to do stories. So I called him up and I told him, what kind of story can we do in whilst I'm here for the few days that I have left? And so we brainstormed. He didn't really have any idea, but then I asked him about the fact that I'm aware that Men's Code has offices here in the UK, and so it will be interesting to go see the office and get to check them out and all. So he said okay. So we arranged, and I made my way there. It turns out that he didn't get back to me in good time until the day before I was supposed to leave the UK. So he got back to me and says, okay, we can do it tomorrow. But I was leaving the UK that very day. I said, okay, I mean, I'll lose the opportunity. So I arranged, we met in central London. I mean, we actually met
In Mayfair.
Yeah. And so here's the thing, I was to go in there I went in there. First of all, I went to the foyer, the reception area, and from the look of things, it's not a place that you can just walk in and say, oh, you know,
you're getting to an office.
Yeah,
okay.
stroll into somebody's office, because they have these barricades. You have to, go through them before you actually go into the office. So we have to come back and for me to strategize as to how to gain access, because if I approached and said I'm here to visit the offices of Men's Gold, what we're going to do was to call up the Men's Gold office and find out, right, so there's a gentleman here who says he wants to see you guys from Men's Gold. And I know that there was already this thing about they thinking that we are out to get them, people like us are out to get them. So I strategized. I said, okay, let's get to make our way into the building. So then that was when I thought, okay, let's pose as people who are actually coming to look up office space. So we spoke with them, said, we're interested in looking up the office space that's here, and said, okay. They called up somebody for us, the people who were in charge of the building. So they came, and in fact, they told us to go to a particular floor. And I thought, okay, if we've gotten the chance to go into the building itself, then yes, we're going to have an opportunity to see the office. And the person I was with was actually there when they commissioned the offices. So once I went in with him, he pointed it out to me.
That's the Men's Gold office,
Yeah.
when they commissioned the Men's Gold office.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he pointed out.
So there's actually an office in London.
Oh yeah, there is.
Okay.
There is,
Okay.
and that's what a lot of people actually got wrong. They thought that my report suggested that there was no office in London. But if you go back and watch that video again, I indicated that yes, they have an office in there, but they don't do the kind of things, they don't run the kind of operations they run here in.
As in the scale or the trade, help us understand that you don't trade in gold or what it was registered for, or the kind of office in terms of the edifice.
I wouldn't even go there. The point I'm
so
making.
what was the point then? I mean, going in there to establish that they had an office, or they were trading in gold, or what?
Okay, so the point when I was done, and there was so much more to the story, because
today you have the platform. Let's just say
after we had we went in there. The guy took us round, and eventually we went past the Men's Gold, where the Men's Gold office was, and all that. I came out knowing that I wasn't really done with the job. Today I'll mention his name because I called him.
That's George Quay.
Yeah.
Abuaji.
I called George Quay. I called George Quay and I told George Quay, okay, so I've been to see your offices here in London, and I want to go in there to get to speak with somebody, because I know clearly they'll tell you that we can't speak with you until we get clearance from the PRO.
That's right.
The corporate affairs.
So you
person.
called George Quay on
I
the
called George Quay.
Oh.
I called George Quay and he told me I just come into office and that he was supposed to have gone on a tour of the offices across the world, but he hasn't been able to, and so he doesn't really know the people in there. And I said, we should arrange.
So contrary to what people are saying, that you didn't actually book an appointment or you didn't schedule.
Of course, I didn't book an
You
appointment.
didn't?
I did it.
But it was
But
when
after-
you got there.
When I got there, and I realized that it wasn't what I thought. I imagined an office somewhere on the streets.
Oh, just like in Accra.
Yes, in a crowd.
They have, okay, they can walk
in, and I mean, you can actually film with their
They
branding.
don't
and
do
all
that in the UK either.
But
I'm surprised that they even allowed you to, because some places they won't even, unless you actually have to hide the camera somewhere and film, you know, what you were doing.
We didn't have to hide the
I
camera.
know,
So
yeah.
yeah, I called George Quay back to this. I called him and he told me he didn't really know the people in there because he hadn't been on those rounds.
Rounds,
and
right.
He can't really be of help. But I told him he should see what he can do. So I was still waiting out there. Waited for a while. And then I called him back and I said, okay, can you tell me, share with me the kind of operation you run here, because I've been here to see the office. And again, he told me, well, he hasn't been to the place he was supposed to have gone to see the office across the world.
Wow.
But he hasn't been able to do that, and so yes, he can't. He doesn't have much to share. I actually asked him that I was looking for an interview. I thought Nana Piamens was in the UK.
In the UK.
At some point, he was in the UK.
Okay.
So I thought he was still there, so I could get to actually meet him and have a conversation.
So what exactly were you trying to bring out in the report, that they didn't have, or of course they had an office there, but they weren't, you know, like I said, the scale.
They were
or
not
magnitude,
running
the
kinds of
operations.
operation that they are running here in Ghana. I mean, and I left
So it means that people got it wrong and they thought you were after the business and you wanted to.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, no.
How did you take all of that? I mean, the bash, and also, you know, with his reaction on social media and subsequent response.
So when I saw the bashing, incidentally, I just come from training in Oxford, where one of the leading professor, the Professor Collier, he talked about, he said something that was critical about the role of journalists. He says, without a critical mass of informed people, you have a critical mess. Okay? And that's something I've left on my Twitter handle for, I've pinned it to the top for a really long time. Essentially what it means is that if the people don't actually understand
the message,
the issues that are out there, they're going to react differently to things. That is where we journalists come in. And we have to shape opinion and point people in the right direction, because a lot of people are uninformed. Otherwise, the kind of information they get is skewed. And we are supposed to give them the full picture. Okay?
So it means that people didn't decode the message well.
I think what happened was that somebody took a part of the message and just started spreading that Israel says Mensgo doesn't have an office in the UK. Go and see some story that he's done. And so people come and they're not interested, and it tends to happen. People look at the headlines and they don't read the story. So then they just latched on to
Were you
it.
concerned about that? Because that it was just making the rounds, and there was a banter. You had to go on his handle, on his timeline, and also respond and say, well, clearly, you know, with the invectives and all that came up. How did you take that? The first 2 days or 3 days, Israel, for the first time, walk us through what's happening in your mind, and also with family.
My wife was a little concerned, but she showed her concern much later on in the day. But for me, and I'm pretty used to this. I've been in this business for a long time, and I know I know that people are taking on, and they can troll you, they can diss you, they can insult you, and all that. But growing up, I was told that if you insult me in Ghana, we say eche bottom.
To it?
If you insult me, it doesn't do anything to me. It doesn't tear my button.
Ah.
If it doesn't tear my button, should I worry? And I look at the people who are actually insulting on social media, and I think it was Pastor Otobe who one time said they actually look like insults. But if you go and look at their social media handles, yeah, they probably have maybe 3 followers, and they're insulting you. When they insult you and you react, you're actually amplifying their insult. So you can let them insult. I also understood that there were a lot of people who had their monies locked in there and who were worried that they were going to lose their investment. So I empathized with them. I actually understood where they were coming from. And so for those people, I didn't think I should take any issue with them. They were just being passionate. They had their money there and they were going to lose it. And
were you worried?
I wasn't. I wasn't, because I knew I hadn't done anything wrong.
Did people call you and, you know, were querying and were asking, oh, why did you do this, why that? And
oh no, I got the calls, the kind of calls I got and the messages I got were people who were asking, but why is the guy insulting you? Why is the guy insulting you? Or why are you trending? why are you trending on Twitter?
So you read some of the messages and you're like, did you find time to actually sift through, to go through a lot of the messages?
Yes.
Oh, you do that? You are one of those people who
each and every message.
You did?
Yes. But I had to find time for it. there were some of the messages that you can see readily on your phone and on your notifications. That it pops up on your phone.
Yeah.
But there are some of the messages too that you have to actually go into your mentions, your Twitter mentions, before you get to see them. So those ones I waited for about, because I was busy. I was working. I couldn't, lose focus.
Exactly.
Focus.
Yes.
I had to focus on the job. I couldn't lose my focus, so I stayed on the job. When I had time, I went through them.
That's good advice. Focus.
Oh yeah. I read through each and every one of them, and like I said, I came to the same conclusion that these are people who had their monies in there and who were worried that they were going to lose their money.
Interesting. And people seem to be enjoying this interview. Lots of messages. I mean, we've gotten some of the highest, numbers coming in terms of, messages. And this one is from Niels. And Niels actually is from Serpent and Presec Lagos. Says, good evening, Senior Bola. Very nice interview with Israel Laryea. You guys are just great gems. I would like to know from Israel, between the NDC and the MPP, which of them have assaulted journalists the more? Okay. So he says he wants to know.
They're both guilty.
They're both guilty.
Yeah,
You're not taking or single anyone out.
No. I mean, I remember some.
Have you ever been assaulted?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're at some an NPP presidential primary at University of Ghana, Legon sometime. That was when they said they had the beauty contest.
About 17 of them were contesting. You were manhandled?
Yeah, a bit of that. I mean, my other colleagues got a bit more. And then I remember sometime I went, that was a long time ago, I was at TV3.
Okay.
And I used to host sports station.
Oh, really? You used to?
I used to host sports station. And so Laryea, who was the producer at the time, encouraged me to get to go to the stadium to watch these matches. So we went to Kumasi to watch some match, and me feeling cool, I'm a media man, I went onto the field at some point in time. I got some slap here.
I talked to you. Anyway, let's talk about growing up, Israel Laryea. Your school days, but when were you born?
So I was actually born in Choco.
Oh, Choco. Where Choco Abodre or where?
Okay, no. So I was born at Kolebu Teaching Hospital, but we lived in Choco at the time. Apparently, there's some Choco estates actually. So
you want to claim that Abi? Don't go there. Come on.
I'm not claiming that Abi at all.
Abodre, it's Choco Abodre.
I'm not claiming that
Choco
Abi.
estate. So there used to be Choco estates.
Some estates you go to Choco, you see that there's some estates behind. At the back of Manprobi going to Choco.
Okay.
Between Manprobi and Choco. Yeah.
All right. So primary school.
Primary school, also Presbyterian Preparatory School.
Oh, okay.
They call it Bluffo School.
You went to preparatory school. That's great.
Yeah, Bluffo School. You see, our kind of preparatory school was the kind of preparatory school that found itself amongst a lot of cyclists.
Myself, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because we with a Bluffo school. I mean, back then our school, our preparatory school was speaking Bluffo.
Oh, real? Okay.
I mean, you was just speaking Black. And all the schools around us were, you know, the Saitos, and so they were speaking vernacular. And so they called us Bluffo school.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was what, Osu Preparatory School?
Yeah, President Preparatory School.
Wow. And from there, you went
from there I went to Okwapman School.
Okwas, you call it? Okay.
Okwapman
School.
Epropong.
All right.
So from Form 1 to Form 5.
What kind of students were you?
I'll say quite studious. You know, when I got in, I'd say, yeah, I was better than the average student from preparatory school. Wrote the common entrance back then.
Okay.
I remember the mark I had in common entrance.
264. Oh, you got 264.
Yeah.
Then you did well.
264.
Wow. Okay.
And then I went to Okwapman School. Initially, the first year, I mean, the first few years were rough. The man was hustling, you know,
And you read?
Then I did business.
Business. Okay.
I did business. And then from there I came to Accra Academy.
Right. So let's stay at Okwas. I mean, Okwapiman Secondary School. That was a co-educational institute. Yeah. Is it still? Yeah. It is. Like we call it mixed school, right?
Yeah.
So Form 1 to Form 5. You're in the boarding house.
Yeah, boarding house.
Tell us life at Okwas back then. Which house were you in?
Kwadade House.
Kwadade House. What is your motto for Okwas?
Semper Primus.
Always
first.
Always first.
Yeah.
Okay. And you were in Kwadade Hall.
Kwadade House.
House.
Yeah,
Okay. And you had a nickname?
Yeah, I mean, as for the nicknames, they gave me plenty nicknames.
Like, yes. So you were called?
So because I'm Israel, every people were calling me Jerusalem, Jericho, any of those Bible names, they'll call me by it. And there were several other names that also came. What are some of the... Yeah, at some point they called me... something happened and they call you by that name. So I was called Kanzo at some point.
Because you love Kanzo or something? Or
no, they found me in possession of Kanzo. So they just gave me that name. And I was a hustler.
Oh, you're a hustler?
I've
really?
been a hustler, yeah.
Wow.
People see me and they think that...
Yeah, no, not at all. You've hustled before?
Oh, yeah.
So tell us, when you talk about you hustling, what, you were selling on the streets or you were hawking something? Or
yeah, I mean, growing up, when I'm sure I was about 10, thereabout, I was selling brooms.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Pegs.
Pegs, okay.
Yeah. So I'll take it. I mean,
to the market or where?
Osu. Yeah, walking through Osu.
You've done that before?
Yeah. I lived in Osu. I mean, I grew up, we lived in Osu. So, I mean, I'll be sent out there to go and sell.
That's child labor, you know that.
Oh, it's not child labor. It's not child
Now you tell your child that, hey, come on, or someone's child. Now, you can't.
I mean,
but that was for survival.
Yeah, and I said, no, I was helping.
Oh, okay.
I was helping the family. That's the way I saw it. And
at age 10?
Yeah,
wow.
thereabout.
Wow.
I was also the one who would go to the seashore to go and buy fish for the house. I'll go to the market to go and buy foodstuffs. So not 10. So this was when I went to secondary school. So
maybe 13, 14?
Yeah, they're 13. 14.
Your firstborn is how old?
He's 13 now.
Will you let him go to the markets now and buy something for you? You think that on his own he can do that?
He can't do that now. I'll probably have to introduce him to it. But I don't think my wife will allow me to.
Maybe parents of today are just, why is that?
I like to. I actually wish I could give them
but the wife
a bit of that. But I remember one time, Shane, who's in boarding school now, he came home, and he came home midterm, and the siblings were in school. They were going to school. We don't live too far from the kids' school. They had gone to school. They left something behind, and then I encouraged him to walk to school and go and give it to them.
Oh.
And he did that. But even though I had sent him out, I mean, I actually gave him a phone to hold on to, so that I'll be calling him from time to time.
Wow.
He came. Whilst he was away, I was worried. I was worried.
So you have how many kids? Is it?
3.
3? Wow. And you've been married for two boys and a girl.
And a girl.
Wow. Just like, me. So we love that.
Yeah.
So you have Shane, you have
Shane, Mitch, and Samantha, who's the girl.
Shane, Mitch, and Samantha.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been married for how many years?
So yeah, 14.
Oh, you don't know?
14.
You should know your anniversary date, though.
14 years.
14 years. Okay, but you are trying to. Why?
I have to calculate.
Okay, so 14 years of marriage.
Yeah.
Wow. You met her at Okwas?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Oh, so at Okwas there was somebody?
Oh no. Because me, I was a
1
good
to
boy.
5.
I
Oh,
was a
well, we're all
boy
good
in
boys.
school.
1 to 5.
1 to 5.
Okwas. You are Chua.
Yeah.
Or there was somebody
more like that. Chua. I mean.
Are you
Chua.
sure? You didn't have a girlfriend at Okwas?
Nah. Probably.
No, look me in the eye and say this.
Oh,
You
how?
had a girlfriend?
You think I can look in that?
Yeah, you're looking somewhere else. I mean, when I mentioned that.
Oh, there were a
Some
few people that I thought were my girlfriends, but
Oh, you thought?
yeah, but I don't think in the
They
real,
consider
real
that
sense of the word.
Oh, a few. Tell her that you're a ladies man, pal.
Oh no! I
Great
won't
looks and all of that,
say-
you know.
No! I won't say that.
Accra Academy, you know, your time, sixth form, we had girls there.
Yeah, we had girls there.
Okay, you had a girl there?
At that point, man wasn't looking at that.
Oh.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, the girls at Accra Academy, they were doing themselves, you know.
Diplo and all.
Diplo.
Yeah. So we didn't.
I was interested.
Wow.
Well, I was interested, but I didn't make any move.
You didn't make any move. So your first move was where? Real move. Was Louisa your wife?
Oh, no.
Oh, so there was somebody before Louisa?
Yeah.
Or some people before Louisa?
Well, we can say that.
No, there's some people or somebody before Louisa.
The most important thing is Louisa.
Louisa is, I know, but of course, as we get to meet, because I know maybe some of them are listening. Or TV3. You are sweating, you need a. Mr.
They can see me on Facebook Live.
We're going for a break. When we come back, we'll talk about TV3, you know, and we'll talk about a lot more, you know, some experiences. We'll share with listeners out there the media space, life at Joy FM and TV, and how, you know, back then. And I was telling this to somebody, I was saying it to somebody the other time. Look, TV3 News. You go in there and it was 7 p.m. It's Israel Laryea. You tell us about your first day on air.
I'll tell you.
You tell us about that right after this break. Yes, we'll be back. This is StarrChat.
True definition of contemporary radio.
Lion!
This is Star
I just went out. Air condition
Sound.
plenty for you.
I need a bank account for my sister to transfer money into for my mother's sickness in Marseille next door.
No, sweetheart.
Hello, Daddy. This is Kwame.
Kwame, is everything all right? It's your son, Kwame. Let me put him on loudspeaker. Eh?
Oh, Daddy, everything's okay. I'm just calling to remind you of my school fees. It seems you forgot to know.
You know what? I will let Aluti bring you
That's
to your
funny.
school, Monday.
Ultimate FMC's high.
My GT bank account.
Hey, Kwame, where did you get the money to open a bank account?
Mama, Mommy, I don't have the best one, but with GT Bank, all I have to do is dial *737*1#. I answer a few questions, and my account number is ready. I own a bank account even without one CD. Daddy, this one here is special.
Do you mean if I dial *737*1# on my phone, I'll be able to open an account with GT Bank?
Yes, Daddy.
Hey, this is special.
Hey, Daddy, please tell Mommy to also open an account with GT Bank.
Kwame, I've already opened the account. We'll talk later, okay? Bye!
Pick your phone and dial *737*1#, and you're through. You don't need any money. Call us on toll-free 0800 124 000. Guarantee Trust Bank. Wouldn't you rather bank with us?
2:30 a.m. Folks were really enjoying their sleep when 5 thieves descended on the J Street neighborhood. In less than 30 minutes, the operation was complete. No one was spared in the raid. The next morning, chaos everywhere. When theft happens, who will you be? Then Mr. Radimo
Everything is gone. Yay!
or the Mr. Blame the Dog.
Hey, where is the dog? Foolish dog! You seem like you are the owner of the house. No one thieves come, you can't buy. I do a dog with a goat.
Or the Mr. I Got Star.
I lost everything.
Sorry, sir. We are already on our way to assess the damage and process your claim accordingly.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. This life.
Star Home Policy makes all the difference. When theft happens, live Let Star take care of it. Sign up today. Call 0302-245-906 or 8. Star Assurance, your solid partner.
Why do you drink Awake Purified Drinking Water?
I drink to make hearts beat. I drink to put smiles on faces. I drink to soothe the hurt. I drink to make hearts awake. Why do you drink?
For every bottle of Awake Purified Drinking Water you buy, an amount will be donated to the National Cardiothoracic Center in Panebu, Ghana. Awake Purified Drinking Water, one for life. Another quality product from Casapreco Company Limited, available in different sizes. For bulk purchase, please call 0262 351251. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Security does not have to be stressful or uncomfortable. Introducing RoboSurveillance, the IP video security system with remote monitoring capabilities from everywhere. RoboSurveillance is Ghana's #1 secure network surveillance camera system with megapixel lenses. It also features a StarLux technology which allows cameras to record color in night vision mode. RoboSurveillance is perfect for homes, schools, office complexes, construction and mining sites. RoboSurveillance, video monitoring from everywhere. Sold and distributed by Trio Security Technologies. Contact 028-921-0392 or simply type #TrioProtectsGH on social media.
Extraordinary radio for discerning listeners. Star 103.5 FM.
Right, so welcome back, and you're on StarrChat. Israel Laryea is our guest, award-winning journalist for the multimedia group. Takes it 10 right here on the show. And lots of messages, Israel. Yes, for you, 0268-900-980, our WhatsApp line. And this one says, good evening, very nice interview, Bola Ray. And I want to know from Israel Laryea, what is his stance on solid? So, ever taking solid, Israel Laryea?
Yeah, I've been given something like that before. I mean, as for blue.
Ever taking solid? Something like that is what, Israel?
Yeah, something like solid. Yeah.
It looks like solid.
It's a confession. Yeah.
It's a confession. So you've taken solid. You still take solid?
Oh no.
Those were the hustling days.
See, you see the most important thing is.
Have you ever taken solid?
Well, I've answered that.
Okay.
But I'm saying that the most important thing is that you don't let it
influence your story. So the reportage.
You've done a story, and at multimedia, we're told that you don't
take solid. Yes.
If you take solid, it's a sackable offense.
Okay. So you take what? Appreciation.
So after you've done the story, the people are there. They'll come to you and they'll come to you.
But do not let it influence.
So you've done. I mean, you've done the story.
Okay. So after.
No, you've done the story, and then, but I mean, ethically.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what story did you do, and the people actually had to show appreciation?
It's a long time ago. I've even forgotten what story it is.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What was the appreciation?
But you see, if you even look at it.
So you don't take appreciation anymore. You don't appreciate appreciation.
Let me explain to you the kind of appreciation that we can talk about now. Imagine that
yes,
there's a company that wants to launch a new product, and then they send you out of town. They take you to.
Remember, in the media, you are not well resourced to Israel. So when you are saying this, you have that at the back of your mind. In context.
No, I'm being frank.
So
I'm saying that there's a company that wants to launch a new product, and then they take you out to wherever.
Okay.
And they tell you about the product. They tell you about the new product and all that, but they will take you to that place, and they will give you what you will call it, per diem.
Per diem.
Okay, you can actually say that is also solid.
But you review the product as it is. If the product, like they say, is not the best or is whack in quotes, like they say, you said maybe it's a phone review that you have to do. It's a book review. It's a car review. You say it as it is.
In my case, I'm actually not even supposed to go and story about it. So you tend to have that happening.
Maybe for business news, and they've launched a product.
They've launched a product.
Yes. So let's say a new car.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, I don't actually find myself doing
those stories.
Some of these stories.
Ah, okay.
Okay, but I'm just saying that there are lots of ways that you can say that a journalist is taking solid, and that has to do with you going out there.
So what about journalists endorsing products or, some services? Do you also see that, standing in the way of journalists to maybe influence them and bring up some biases and all?
It could influence you. It could influence you. It's not advisable.
So that some journalists are taken as icons, as ambassadors, influencers. Now we see that a lot. How about that? How do you regulate that?
You can't do much about it. You just leave it to the journalists to use their discretion. Okay. You can't regulate that. But I'm just saying that it's not really advisable.
If Zoom Lion comes to you and says, you know what, Accra is dirty. We want to, have some ambassadors. Be that person who will be an ambassador, champion sanitation in Ghana, and then your station is out there also talking about filth in Accra. Where do we draw the line?
It's a little difficult when a station asks you to get to do it. You really don't have much of a choice. Recently, there was a promotion that was happening on our network station, and I was the one who was supposed to lead it. Essentially, what I did was about endorsing the product, and then at the end of it, then they gave me a bag which had some product in there.
Okay.
Will you call that one too? Sorry.
So there's a thin line.
Yeah. Wow. There is, and you see, you can't actually rule it out when it comes to that. Then all the journalists in this world are guilty, because if you go to CNN, you compromised. Richard Quest, you see him on British Airways or Singapore Airlines, talking about they will fly him there and they'll take care of him. They will make sure he's comfortable and all that. Would you say that would influence?
So one must stay, as a professional. That is it.
Yeah. Just be a professional.
Be a professional. Yeah. Know what you want, focus, and say it as it is without fear or favor.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so we'll be activating the phone lines now. Many will be joining us on 0302-231144, 0302-231145. Israel Laryea is our guest right here on Star 103.5 FM. This is StarrChat, and my name is Bola Ray. Well, before we get into our Knowing Ghana questions, we'd like to say a very big thank you to our sponsor. So to Guarantee Trust Bank, wouldn't you rather bank with us? Thank you, Guarantee Trust Bank. To our Wick Purified Drinking Water, one for life. Star Assurance, your solid partner. Trio Technology, video monitoring everywhere. And Johnny Walker, keep walking. So where do you see yourself in 1 or 2 years? Where do you see your family? Surely, we all have high hopes in life, but nobody knows tomorrow. Thankfully, Star Life Assurance, the first and truly trusted composite life insurance company in Ghana, has designed policies to help you bridge these gaps when the unfortunate occurs. So, yes, you know it. Even though life can deal you a big blow, Star Life can put you back in control to achieve your dreams. Call them on 0302-739-600 today. Star Life, your solid partner. And we have good news for all Ghanaians. Guarantee Trust Bank is offering you the opportunity to open an account with them. And guess what? No deposit is required. Yes, you heard right. You do not have to make any initial deposit to have an account with GT Bank. So, wait no more. Open a zero balance account with GT Bank today and experience the joy of banking. Call them on 0302-611-560. Guarantee Trust Bank. What did you rather? Bank with us. We'll be going to our phone lines, but of course, someone wants to know, how did you meet your wife? I want to know from Israel Laryea. And how did he approach her?
All right, so I met my wife through Gideon Aigwe, who was my colleague at TV3. So she was Gideon's friend. I was actually in the newsroom, some people appeared on TV. I don't recall exactly who the people were, but there was this lady who was speaking very good English, impeccable English. And I was telling Gideon that this is the kind of woman, if you have at home, you can't help but speak good English. Oh, wow. Because she's going to influence you.
Yes.
So, and then he said, oh, I know this lady. Hey, So then he hooked me up.
Wow.
Gave me the phone number. I took the phone number, and I was pranking her. I pranked her for some time, and then I stopped. And then months after, then she called. I saw a missed call on my phone. So I was like, oh, this is so bad of me. I mean,
You started something,
and then I just abandoned it. So let me get in touch with her. So I actually called and introduced myself. Because back then I didn't actually introduce myself. I introduced myself, and
One thing led to another.
Yeah, one thing led to another.
Wow. Interesting story. But we have Kwame on the line. Kwame. Cool. And you're calling very well. Where are you calling from, Kwame? Okay. All right. From OC. Where? Takrady, OC. All right then. Great. Oyo City. Okay. All right. OC. Charlie, people for slow down. All right then. Kwame, let's hear you. That's right. Okay, so he wants you to keep your beard. Yes, Kwame. Say the Komla Dumont News Show must start FM and then join News Show. What a question.
I haven't assessed the Komla Dumont News Show,
okay.
so I'm not in a position to say.
All right then. So Kwame from Oyo City, then your M. Bill Bejra is listening to us out there in France.
All right.
So Bill, and together with his guys from Wines of South Africa as well, they're tuning online, listening to you, and they're saying hi. Shaba is on the line from Jolu. Shaba, good evening. You're on air. Yes. What's the name? Is this Shaba or Shaba? Shaiba. Wow. How old are you, Shaiba? You know you sound small there, don't worry, Shaiba. You must welcome Israel Laryea is here with us, Shaiba. Please talk to Israel.
Oh yeah.
The good work. That's from 20-year-old Shaiba in Jolu to you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And she wants to know,
so
plus
233
was a TV show, right?
It was a TV show. It was funded by, we were getting funding from the UK, and it was a show that was done by Discovery International in the US. So it turned out that I think the reason why the show didn't continue was because the executive producer got another engagement elsewhere, and so he left us.
All right.
But otherwise, I think
Gonna
that
make
we had
a return?
it doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look
Otherwise,
like
I thought we had at least one more season to do.
Oh, okay.
The whole idea was we're going to run it for a while, and then eventually we're going to have, find enough sponsors who are going to support the show. It cost quite a bit to put the show together.
Interesting.
And once we got the sponsors, and it could be self-sustaining.
After this call, we'll talk about, life at TV3 and all of that. But then we have Yaro on the line from Nkoko. Good evening, Yaro, and you're on air. I'm blessed, thank you, Yaro. You're on air, please. Israel Laryea is here. Yes.
Yes.
When it comes to a newscasting, his competition, okay, the male newscasters. Please, I don't know who is the drive time again.
He doesn't. He's retired.
Okay, so you leave it to him. He says he wants to know who in terms of, the male newscasters. Tell us.
I'm not sure.
In your league,
which other male I'm not sure. I think there are few guys coming up who also.
Any names? Yeah. On TV, on radio, you have some.
I think Stevenson.
Patrick Stevenson.
He's a
discovery.
Sport.
Okay, Bright Sports.
I also think that Komla Adum of our own newsroom.
Okay, Komla Adum. Okay.
He also has great prospects.
Right.
And then we have, Yeah, when it comes to TV.
So Patrick Stevenson, Komladum, and then
those are the
names.
names.
Okay, I have Aklama.
I also don't get to watch that much.
Yeah, because you are in the league.
On air at the time.
Exactly. Yeah. Aklama 1 from Pram Pram. Good evening, Aklama 1. Yes, sir. Welcome. You're on StarrChat, Aklama 1. Let's say Israelize here, please. Tell us, sir. Yes. So it's Israel, no size. TV news. Take it easy. Take it easy. I said it, or I don't know. Aklama 1 from Pom Pom. Thank you. Douglas from Winneba. Oh, Douglas, we've lost you, but you can call 0302231144, 0302231145. And this one is from Thelma. Thelma is in the US of A. And Thelma says, Israel Laryea, you do all. Congratulations. I love him. Okay. So, yes, we'll come to Douglas, but has the Akufo...
So Thelma send the message to your personal?
No. It's this the company, WhatsApp.
Really?
Yeah, so that's where I'm getting the message from. So let them know any ideas. Okay, so my question, I'll stay on this. Has the Akufo-Addo government impressed you so far, Israel Laryea?
Not that much.
Not that much? You're disappointed?
I expected a whole lot more. One of the things I've been very much looking forward to is the national ID. It hasn't happened. If the national ID happens, it's going to change so much in this country. And that's something I've been looking forward to. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened.
Wow. So you're not a happy man?
No, I'm not really keen.
How would you rate the Akufo-Addo government so far? Scale of 1 to 10? You score them?
I give them a 6.
A 6? That's
I'm
above average. Though.
Yeah, I'm giving them a 6 because I'm still hopeful that we're going to have stuff like the...
So the 6, they've not even earned the 6. You're just giving it to them because you're hopeful.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, so we'll come to your favorite hangout in Accra, but I have Abotre from East Legon. Is that right? Is that Abotre? Abotre calling from East Legon. Okay, Abotari. All right then. Let's hear you. Good evening.
Thank you.
Which of them, Shane or Mitch? Interesting. You want, okay. And I also want them, okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Can I call my wife?
Well, I think we started with that. We actually commenced the show with that. Maybe you joined, midway. Yeah, but he answered that, yes, Abotari. Thank you very much, Abotari from East Legon. I love your name, by the way. So, Abotari means patience, right? So, I mean, you have a lot of that as well. So, in all of this, I was asking you that question, but we have a caller on the line. Okay, but tell us, what's your favorite, or where is your favorite hangout in Accra?
I don't have one.
Or you don't go out, you stay at home?
Yeah.
So you're a homeboy, you don't really...
My most comfortable place is my home.
Oh, okay. So you don't party, you don't club, you don't...
Hardly.
You hardly do that?
Yeah, I hardly do that. I mean, if Bola invites me to his party, Bola is a big
look at Isha. So you show up.
Yeah.
But your favorite musician in Ghana is?
Favorite. I have a few.
Okay.
I should say.
But who's your favorite musician of all time?
I wouldn't have a favorite.
Okay.
I can mention a few.
Okay. So give us 2 or 3.
Or rather than say I have a favorite musician, I'd say I have some great tracks, or there's some tracks that I just love.
Okay, so some of these tracks will be.
I'll start with Kwabena. I think Kwabena has some really great tracks. There's this gospel, Yes,
yeah.
I think it's a great track. Sometimes too, I play. Recently, I was playing Ohima Mercy.
Okay.
Ohima Mercy has a number of tracks too. Sarkodie also has some tracks that I enjoy.
So you're a Sarkodie fan.
And I'm a Sarkodie fan. I'm a Shatawale fan. I think Shatawale is this new track. I know my level.
I know.
It's a kind of track. Sarkodie Shatawale is a kind of guy who drops some tracks, and initially you think that these tracks are not nice, but after a while they wear on you, and before you know, hey, look at some of the songs that he's come up with, tracks he's come up with. You're like, I mean, how did this song actually become a hit? But yeah, he produces hits like that. And Stoneboy too has this track that I love. So it's essentially the tracks. There's some particular songs that I tend to enjoy. So I won't say I have like a favorite amongst them. Oh yes, this one
from Kwabena.
Yeah.
Great track by all standards, man. I love this as well. So you know how to sing it? Oh, man, crying mommy,
crying mommy, we're crying mommy,
we're crying mommy, oh. Wow, lovely. So we have George Quay on the line. He says, apparently you guys share the same birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. George Quay, good evening. And you want? Oh, thank you very much, George Quay.
Can I ask him some questions?
Yes.
George, can you confirm that I called you from London? Really? Please tell them I called you. And what did you tell me? Yeah. Well, so how do you feel when they were bashing me and all that? Anyway, George, how? But George actually came to see me the following day to apologize for the post that was put up by Nanapia Mensa, and I took it in good faith.
So George, you went to apologize behind the scenes. No, so you went to apologize. Okay. I think you should arrange so that Namwan gets to meet Israel and you send us the picture. It's possible. Would you love to meet Namwan and smoke the peace pipe?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Israel says he has accepted the invitation, and let's see that photograph. Yeah. You are working on that. George, thank you very much, my brother. Yeah.
Is that the president of the short guys?
Yes, that's him. George Quay, thank you very much. So it's now time for our big one as well, and The mystery question, we call it. Israel, here we go.
What mystery question?
No way. You'll get to know. Let's go.
Oh, the mystery question. And now, the mystery question.
All right, so Israel, what do we have right there?
That is easy.
Okay, so
Who's
read
your
it.
all-time favorite newscaster in Ghana?
Who's your
myself?
Who's your all-time favorite newscaster in Ghana?
Myself.
Yourself?
Yes.
Israel Laryea. I like
Case
that.
closed.
Case closed. Israel, thank you very much and have a wonderful time. It's been great having you on the show, and we'll end with your favorite song as well.
Yeah.
Kwabena Buikwan.
Yeah.
So you know what? Have a wonderful time and thanks so much for coming through, answering our invitation. But what's your biggest fear in life, Israel Laryea?
I talked about it some time back, and it has to do with having, armed robbers attack me and my family at home. That's my greatest fear.
You dread that.
Yeah, dread that.
Wow. Israel Laryea on StarrChat, thank you very much. And a big thank you to the team out there. Another one gone by, we say to God be the glory. To Kwabena Wilson, to the team, thank you very much. Kwame Danso, a champion, to Kelly Boy, to Raymond, our technician. My name is Kwabena, I'm not here to see Bola Ray. God bless all of us. John Jermaine is up next with a drop off. Thank you and good evening. Thank you. Good luck.